first time we used it and put a video on our client knowledge base, we got some questions back almost the same day saying, can you tell me a bit more about it? Can I set up a meeting with you?
Today, I'm with David from MyConnex, and we're going to talk a little bit about how he's using Pictory in his business. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Pete.
Tell me a bit about your business, if you would.
Yeah, so we are MyConnex, and our business is we provide gift cards for towns and cities under a brand in the UK and Ireland called Town and City Gift Cards, and a brand that we have in North America called Downtown Gift Cards. And the idea behind our business is that we provide those as a way of towns and cities keeping money that would otherwise go out of the town and city spent locally.
That's great. How's Pictory helping you?
So basically, because we have a number of clients, we have almost 200 over 4 countries. Our main job, and the main job that I look after in the team that I'm responsible for, is to help those places to grow the number of gift cards they sell, Pete. And the challenge we have with that is that there's lots of different ways of doing that. And we're constantly developing new tools, new suggestions. We're constantly getting great ideas in from our clients of things that they're doing. And what we found was that very often we were putting all these things into big, long text documents. We were sending them out. We have a knowledge base that we share with our clients. And sometimes the pickup wasn't that great, or it was too much for people to read. So we were looking for ways of how do we get that out there in a way that's easier for people to digest, you know, if they've got 10 minutes between meetings or having a sandwich. And I was quite passionate about video, but I think the barrier that I felt before coming across Pictory is that producing credible, interesting, engaging videos was hugely time-consuming, quite expensive, and not something that we were necessarily set up to have the time or the bandwidth to focus on. And it was actually a friend of mine who had used Pictory and said, we used this platform. I've only used it a couple of times, but it seemed really good. So like I'm sure a lot of your people you work with, we signed up for the trial version, see how it went, and very quickly upgraded that because it allowed us to take really simple messages about either things our clients had done or ideas that we had and communicate them in a sort of 1 to 3 minute video in a much more engaging way, and get people starting to engage. So clients starting to come back to us, and I think we'll probably talk about that and how that's gone. But there's a few features of it that I think have really helped us to get just a bit more attention on the things that we wanted to promote.
So are you using platform to do videos for cold outreach, or is this a follow-up after you've had a conversation with a client? Where does it fit into your sales process?
Yeah, so far what we're using it for, we're actually not, I wouldn't say we're necessarily using it for what I would call hard sales. So what we are using it for is to communicate to our existing clients who already sign up for our program. So what we do is we have clients who say to us, we are a business improvement district or a business improvement area for a town or city, and we want to have a gift card. But then those people are not as specialist, obviously, in having a gift card as we are, right? Because it's not their job. Their job is to be placemakers in a town or city. So what we are generally doing is trying to get information across to them in a way that is easy to digest and understand as to how do you then maximize a gift card? What do we know that they don't know? So what we're trying to do, I suppose, in one way is sell them on the idea of whatever the idea is that we're trying to promote, right? We're trying to say, this great idea can work really well for your gift card. So there is an element of selling that. But when I say selling, I suppose what I mean, Peter, is you're competing for their time, right? Because they're busy people. They'll be spinning, I think one of our clients told us they spin 18 different plates on 18 different areas of their job. So what you need to do is have something really engaging that says to them, this is worth me spending my time on. So if I give a real example, one of the things we encourage our clients to do is to talk to businesses and organizations in their local area about the gift cards that they offer, because that's a really good source of starting to get more people knowing about the gift card. And as you'll know, lots of businesses use big proprietary gift cards. And there's a really nice story there if you can get them to use smaller, more local ones that keep money in the community. But in order to do that, we sometimes need them to do things like build a database or, send out a series of emails. So we have a range of services that we offer and we can support them on that help them to do that. So what we've done with Pictory is we've taken each of those services, and rather than having a 2 or 3 page A4 document, we've got a 2-minute video that sort of says, this is what it is, this is why you should do it, this is where it's worked before. And then instead of us then having to go, well, okay, we now need to go to the clients who've tried it and get some really good video from them, or, Pictory does all of that for us. It gets some really smart images. We can write a script and it pairs them up, obviously using the system with things that make sense. We can add subtitles automatically, which particularly with Scottish accents can be a bit of a problem sometimes. So we can do that. And then also, I think the thing I didn't actually realise when I started using the platform is the opportunities for voiceover are superb compared to what we may have had access to, both in terms of an ease of deployment, but also in terms of a price level, because you will know this, for us to get voice actors to do videos frequently, especially for short videos that maybe, we do 3 a month and then we have a month where we don't do any and then we have another 4, can be really difficult. And that's where the platform is so neat, because we can just go on a Monday, actually it'd be really good to have a video for this, and we've kind of got the video by the end of the day or the start of the following day.
It's cutting down on the time and the money that you need to produce video content. From what I've understood, it's like an onboarding education pack that you're producing. So rather than sending out lots and lots of documents that people need to wade through, you're cutting through the noise by presenting that vital information in video form, which is easy to consume, entertaining, and actually gets consumed as opposed to just left on the side.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely spot on. For us, like I said, they're really busy people, and they're also all at different levels of the amount of time they've had a program with us. Some of our longest programs that we've had for a number of years have maybe done 6, 7, 8 years of understanding how to grow a gift card, and some have done 6, 7 or 8 weeks. So it's also, I think, really good for us to create a library of things that when people are new and maybe they're doing a lot of things that they already have existing, we can just say to them, well, actually, you don't have to read a big Bible of information. Just have a look at these couple of videos. These are the right steps. Where one of the big things we've been doing is trying to condense and bring together a lot of the great resources we have into one guide. And it's really nice in that guide, rather than have a big paragraph that explains it, to say something really simple like, we offer help to you to build an organisation database. Click here to watch a video about it. That's what's really neat about it.
Are you putting the videos on YouTube, or is it in an internal learning and development system?
It's a platform that we make available to our clients. So we have a knowledge base. We actually host it on Notion, and then we put the videos on there. So it's super easy to access. We haven't, I don't think, ruled out putting them on YouTube or online yet, and we have used them in a couple of incidences. And we have private LinkedIn groups for our clients in different countries, and we've shared them on there because, again, what we find when people are scrolling through their feed, a text thing with an image and the standard sort of LinkedIn question, a video really tends to grab the attention. So we've used it on those platforms as well.
Certainly our customers report that video stops the scroll and engagement rates just go through the roof because everybody now wants to consume in video format.
Yeah, I think the thing I've had to watch, because I've created a few of the videos myself, is you get really excited about what should the first thing that people see be, and obviously you get so many options for the visuals and stuff that you can spend ages looking through it and going, I like that one a bit better than that one, and I've really enjoyed that. I have to say, it did impress me how big the library of kind of stock content that we could have access to was. And if I'm honest, I was worried before we tested it that sometimes you find with platforms, because we have a lot of clients in the UK and Ireland, we use in our type of business a lot of images of towns and cities, and it's very obvious when that town or city is not in the country you're from. But there's a huge range of options for us to pick from, so it's been great doing that. I just have to watch that I don't spend all of my day doing it when I've got 10 other things to do. But I do really enjoy it. I like that creative process, and it feels more creative than I expected, probably from what I initially thought the platform might be.
Very nice to hear. And of course, we have the Voices from 11 Labs that you mentioned, so you can produce in plain English without wishing to be politically incorrect. And you can also update things very quickly, as you say, without having to have a voice actor or a freelancer. The images come from Getty, so there's about 10 million of them. But of course, what's a good thing about Pictory is you can also upload your own images and clips. So if you want to make it ultra personal, then you can find stock images of the city, maybe from other postcards that were generic in the past.
Yeah, I think that personalisation piece as a whole is really interesting. So again, one of the things we found in the past before we came across Pictory is we operate in, as I said, North America, so Canada and the US. We operate in Ireland, and we also operate across the UK. And that ability to have a voiceover that has an accent that people actually recognise is so important, because our job is to represent gift cards from a place that people really feel attached to. And then equally, as you say, with the images, there are videos that we've done where we've included sort of maybe a screenshot of scrolling through a particular part of a website, or we've included a picture of the particular town or city that has done something if it's a case study we're presenting. So it is really relevant to be able to personalise it in that way. And even things like we have quite a bright palette for our brand, and you can create a brand kit that when you've done the initial part of the video, you can just add it straight on. It has your logo there, the subtitles are in the right colour. It's nice and neat from that point of view. So it looks on brand for us as well.
I won't go too far off piste, but we also have an API, an application programming interface. So if you wanted to do this at scale and personalize things very deeply, that's also possible. I could put you in touch with the technical team if that's of interest. Now, our viewers really love to hear about results. So I know you said before we spoke that this is fairly early on in the game, but can you speak to some of the results, whether that's savings in time and money, or results, or even qualitative feedback from your audience?
Yeah, I think there's probably three things. So there's definitely saving in time, because for us to create a long form written document and then format it appropriately to go to clients, as anyone watching this will know, can be quite a time consuming thing. You can get hung up on it a little bit. And whereas what we were able to do with Pictory is sort of write what we want to say, and then it just kind of comes to life, right? So that's definitely a time and resource saving. And to be honest, we have a need to use video, and if we didn't have Pictory, we wouldn't be able to do it, because it would be too expensive to go to a video production company and say, can you do this for us every time? It just doesn't work. I think the second thing is that we are constantly talking to our clients about how to grow their programs, and very often, and we're not uncommon amongst most businesses, all of our clients are really busy, as I said earlier. So you'll put something out there and then you maybe don't hear something for 3 or 4 or 5 months, or if at all, right? Because they're busy, the document is long, and maybe there's a time factor. So what's been really nice is that actually the first time we used it and put a video on our client knowledge base, we got some questions back almost the same day saying, can you tell me a bit more about it? Can I set up a meeting with you? To people in my team. So that was, for me, that was actually the trigger that made me go, okay, this definitely works. We should keep this subscription going for a little bit longer and really explore it properly. And then I think the third piece that we're probably only starting to scratch the surface of, though, is I think there's almost a sort of surprise from clients, like, oh, it's a video. And it almost kind of adds a credibility piece, because they don't know how we've done it. They just get a final piece of video content, right? But it's almost like it adds a level, like it's perceived to me as easy to put a document out there, whereas if you've gone to the effort of making a video, it's like, this is really important. It grabs that attention. So I think that's been the real payback, is that when I've had informal conversations with our clients, they're like, well, that video was really good, or actually it was nice to see that, and almost asking, some of them are asking us how we do it, and of course we recommend you guys. But yeah, it's interesting to see that it just seems to level up people's attention a little bit from it being just another document or just another communication to actually, well, this is important that I look at this.
Helps you cut through the noise. And in terms of economics, to get one mediocre video done by a professional agency is going to cost you multiples of an annual subscription for Pictory. So I guess also there's the perception that you've gone to some trouble and some expense in order to court them, as opposed to just sent out yet another spam email. Yeah,
that's it. Absolutely. It's just, we know our client base is very varied in terms of, age, experience, everything you would expect from a company that operates across 4 countries. And it's just, to us, it's about always having different ways for people to consume information. And, I think anyone who doesn't see that video content is the way that most people are going, and certainly, generations who've been the core part of the workforce for some time now is going to miss the boat, to be honest, Pete, is my view on it.
I agree. You've been very generous with your time, but I'm going to be cheeky and ask one final question, if I may. David, if you were speaking to somebody who had never used Pictory before, what would you say to them?
Oh, I think I would say, if you've got an idea for a video, it's a really good way of bringing it to life without major hassle. That's how I see it.
That was very succinct, to the point, and much appreciated. Thank you very much for spending the time with me today.
Great to talk to you, Pete. Thanks.